Hello.
Okay,
We're live.
episode 4 of Happy Tuesday Talks. I'm your host, Blaze, here with my buddy Brett. We beat the statistic we were talking about. The
Fourth episode.
Fourth episode.
We did it.
We made it.
We did it.
And we got another great episode, a lot of good feedback. We're starting to post stuff on TikTok and YouTube, trying to promote.
We're trying to do whole lot of clipping. Doing anything different from where I'm trying to go with this. Doing anything new is super tough, so we're just still learning how to kind of make our voice sound good, how to clip some clips. But
Promote.
they've been taking off. That one clip we did actually did really well. So.
Yeah, and our YouTube video is not doing that great, which is disappointing.
Yeah.
It's so good. It'll get there.
I don't know how many listeners are listening to this and gonna go to our YouTube video, but go watch that.
Please.
More listeners, I assume, are coming from the YouTube video.
And we're filming today.
Yeah, we got a good one coming out today. We're just gonna go through kind of how we practice, why we practice,
Grinding, how we play.
exactly.
At PGA National.
So you guys are gonna learn something.
Yeah. All right. So what I got for us today is, why do you love golf, Brett? And why do I love golf?
All right, I'll kick this off. I've asked myself this before
I ask myself this all the time.
because as
Why am I out here?
competitive golfers, a lot of times we don't love golf.
Yeah.
We hate golf. But I love golf, and I think I had a coach tell me this before, is the reason why people love golf is because it's so hard. Like, people love a good challenge, but what got me hooked onto golf was just striping, like, I don't know, random iron when I was like 10 years old.
It's like that dopamine release
of
like,
God, dude. It feels
especially
so good.
when you pull off that shot. But like for both of us, I think it was Ninja said it about playing Fortnite. He's like, you either love Fortnite or you're good at it. And I feel like sometimes that's how I feel about golf. Yeah, because you put so much time into being good that, like, I mean, I'll go for like 4-month stretches where I'm like not really jazzed to go golf, but I'm like, treating it as a job, which I do enjoy, like, practicing. But when you're in these like ruts of like, you play really good for like a couple months and you start playing bad, it's like pretty awful place to be. And like, even Max Holmes said, he goes, if you haven't considered quitting before, then you don't actually love golf. And that's how I feel. So I don't ever want to quit, because I do like love golf, but it does, when you're playing competitively, it definitely takes out the fun sometimes.
I didn't know Ninja said that, and I think that's how every athlete feels.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you go to any NBA player and be like, do you love basketball? They'll be like, oh, I'm sick of basketball.
Yeah, I mean, when you spend, how many years have we like dedicated our lives to playing good golf? I mean, it was basically freshman year of high school to now.
Yeah, I definitely got a bit burned out in college, and I took a little break. I started focusing more on the content, and whenever I had a chance to play, I loved it again. So I think deep down you still love golf.
Yeah. You
might need a break. You might need to take like 2 weeks off or something, and then you're going to be itching to get back on the course.
Part of it for me is I noticed I was playing so many tournaments over the last year, and I went through like a stage where I was like playing good, but I was not playing great, and I was like not miserable, but I'm like, it makes you think, it's like, how much better like do I need to be to like start making money or something like that? Because like in my head I was playing good, and then I went on a stretch where I was like playing really good, where I was like 3 under, 4 under, like end of the round almost, like maybe with like 5 holes to play. And then I was like, man, that was, I like loved it. There was one tournament where I was first time leading a pro event after 9 holes, and I was like addicted. I'm like, this feels so much better than trying to get back to even par or something like that.
Yeah.
And that, I think it's just like that. Everyone has the bar that they set as like good golf, and we try to shoot under par. There's guys who are trying to break 90, but we both have that same like drive of like, you want to play because you can. I think that's like the draw.
It comes down to expectations. As long as you're setting realistic expectations for yourself, when you beat them, golf is the most fun ever. And go back. I had this one thought when you're talking. What you were saying?
I was saying how like playing good like makes me
right.
That's why I love it.
So when you're playing well, it's so fun. It seems so easy, but then when you're playing bad, it's the worst thing ever.
The worst.
Like the last thing I want to do is
like even like when I was in Hilton Head playing with my buddies, and the first round, I was drinking.
Hello.
I wasn't playing that good, and I remember like I just hit this like pushy drive off to the right side, like, and I just like dropped my club and whatever, and they're like, "That's fine." I'm like, I got away with a swing, and I'm like that's what drives me nuts is like, yeah, it's a fine shot, but it's not
perfect.
Yeah, because like I want to start the ball left and cut it back,
yeah.
And I'm like, that's when I'm like, it also took me a long time to, when I play with my buddies, it's okay to not play good, especially when I'm drinking. It's like I'm not thinking about 10% of what I think about
right
when I'm playing.
Those rounds are nice. It's kind of like a break.
I loved it. I was like, oh, this is what I needed.
It kind of resets everything. And by the way, if you're hearing all that banging, they're doing a little bit of construction, but
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope you don't hear it, but if you do, that's what's going on. You're just gonna have to bear with us here. We got some spicy topics that are worth going.
We're trying our best.
But I think we're on the same page there. We love the challenge of it.
Yeah.
We love the feeling of hitting a good shot. It sucks when it's going bad, but it's the best thing ever when it's going well.
And also, like, which I think really only golfers can relate to is your highs and your lows. If you win a tournament, you won that tournament. If you lose a tournament or you play bad, you did it. So there's that, like, you fulfill yourself more when it's like, I think we talked about this like episode 1, you don't have a teammate to bail you out. And so like when you play good, it's like it's all me.
You reap all the reward.
Yeah, and I'm like I don't know. I do hate golf a lot, but also I actually like love golf so much.
Like dude, it's the best, and you know we have it good, right? We can't like playing. Yeah, you always have to remind yourself that playing a bad round of golf is a lot better than like fighting some war.
Well,
hungry for food, like I think Max Homa talked about this. Whenever he gets super nervous, he always starts saying what he's grateful for. Yeah. So like he'll be like, "Oh, I'm grateful for family or whatever," you know. And then that makes him like, "Oh, this doesn't even matter." Like I'm it takes all the pressure off.
There's a NHL playoffs are going on right now, and I don't know what goalie it is, but he like let in one goal and saved like 28 or something, and they won the game. And the news, like one of the reporters were asking him about it, and his only reply was, because he played really well, he's like, "We're all gonna die one day, so it doesn't matter." I'm like, well, all right,
dude,
that's
exactly.
It is true. Like LeBron, actually, who I hate LeBron, they got blown out by OKC, was it? And he's like, "Man, it's just basketball." I'm like, that's not a GOAT reply. Yeah. Kobe would never. It's just basketball.
Right. That's also a good point. But I think some of the best golfers seem like they don't care. I might have said this in another episode, but I remember playing in AJGA. We were with Joaquin Neiman, and I think he shot 74, 75.
Joaquin?
Joaquin. Really? We're the same age. We played in the same
I didn't know he played AJGAs.
Yeah. Well, at least one. And he shot 74, 75 in the first round, and obviously that's terrible for someone of his skill level.
Yeah.
And then the next day, he just shoots the easiest 66. Every time I looked over him, I think he was playing in a couple groups behind me. The easiest 66 I've ever seen, and it just looked like he didn't care at all.
Right.
And going back to what we said was, does he not care because he thinks like, oh, it's just golf? And that's what started to get me thinking. He probably had no nerves out there. He probably knew he was the best player there.
Yeah.
And that, what I'm trying to say is, I believe that helped him win, and just that mindset, like it doesn't matter.
Right.
I don't know if that helps in other sports, but in golf, just to take the pressure off because you have a lot of time to think. It's just like same thing with Max Homa, just being grateful for other stuff and just like at the end of the day, it's just golf.
Yeah, and that's also like, especially people who are not good at golf freaking out. I mean, you're just golfing for fun.
That's the worst.
Go ahead.
If you're not good at golf, dude, just like, it's fine. People play with people like us who are good at golf, and I think they get embarrassed because they're not up to par with us, no pun intended.
Yeah.
But no, we don't care, dude. We were bad at one point too. You know? Like, don't hit a bad shot and
we've seen every single shot.
Oh, literally.
I don't know. I've seen.
Don't hit a bad shot and just have like a hissy fit. Like it's one thing to be bad at golf. It's another thing to be bad at golf and just this whiner. Like, that's two reasons why I don't want to play with you instead of one. You know.
Yeah, and
like some of my most enjoyable golf rounds came from a guy who's not that good, but just has an awesome attitude and like just fun to be around. You know.
My most enjoyable rounds of golf are not in competition.
Yeah, like with your buddies who might not be as good as you.
Yeah, but also like when we were in Hilton Head, I shot 4 under, and I was like, yeah, cool. Like 4 under, I was pretty happy. But if I shot 4 under in a tournament, I would be fired up. But I was like, oh, all right, 4 under.
Yeah,
that's different. Exactly. It's like you have to know, like, all right, you have to manage your emotions and have your expectations where they are.
Yeah.
All right, you want to go? Do you have your dream golf trip?
Yeah. So Blaze texted me last night. He's like, get on the pod. We're gonna be doing our dream golf trips.
So the criteria is any country, no budget. You cannot. Basically, they all have to be drivable distance to each other, but you cannot change states.
Yeah.
Do you want to go? Do you have yours?
Yeah. So what I was getting at was I didn't do too much research. I kind of just barely scratched the surface. But I was looking at all the states that have a lot of. I love states that have a lot of like trees and like you see the ocean. So I was looking at Michigan.
Yeah.
And I was looking at what's another like Maine. I love that hilly.
Oregon.
Yeah, especially being in Florida for a while. It's all flat and boring. So I think I ended up going to Oregon.
Okay, nice.
Because I think we're gonna go out and basically hit all abandoned dune courses. I think there's 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of other good ones in the area.
I thought about abandoned
too. It looks unbelievable. It's just such a different vibe. Like the mountains and the trees. The air's probably so crisp.
I played once in Oregon. Well, twice.
I've never even been over there. I don't even know where it's above California.
It's
like where's that place?
It's below Washington, above Cali.
Okay.
And I played Sun Mountain AJGA up at a resort in Oregon, and it is like unbelievable. I played with Norman Young, my man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Huh. My first AJGA, we were in a playoff together,
and
I saw him there. And he's like, Blaze, I'm like, what's up, Norman? He ended up winning, of course.
Really?
Yeah. But kind of funny, the final round, there was a forest fire. And so they had to delay the round. And me and my dad are like sitting in the resort eating breakfast. And it's like these big glass windows and they face like the mountains and everything. And it literally looks like, it looked like fog, but like darker. It was crazy. I'm like, are we safe here? And if you go on my Instagram, I got like... We went on this hike, so we kayaked down this really sweet river, and we got off, and we like pulled our kayaks up on the bank, and we went hiking, and there's this like tree that overhangs this river. It's like whitewater rafting type river, but not as strong. And we like went off the rope and everything, and it was like the coolest little hiking trip. No, I didn't play. Actually, I did. I played the. I was in the event already. What is going on? Don't look.
We have some technical issues.
No, something happened. But I was in the tournament already. But I played the qualifier for it. I got in. I won the qualifier, so I didn't have to use any stars. I was like, all right.
Hell yeah. The only thing I don't know about Oregon is it Oregon or Oregon?
I think it can go either way.
I don't know what the weather. Is it nice there all year, like California?
Or is it a bit colder? Well, you know what's weird is I played with a kid from Oregon. And I asked him like, how's your guys' indoor facility? And he goes, we don't have one. I'm like, does it not snow? He goes, no. And they're like, they're like level with Michigan. It doesn't snow over there though, or it might, but not. But it's like how Scotland is.
Might be the place to move. You might catch us in Oregon.
Yeah, until you get to Portland and everyone's on drugs.
Oh, perfect.
All right, I'm all the way across. I'm over by you. Oh. I'm going New York.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm going first round Shinnecock. Tell me if you've played any of these.
I haven't played Shinnecock.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can go down Long Island. So this was what I was getting at. When you first texted me, I'm like, are we only doing public courses? Because I was looking
I thought you were talking about the emails we were sending.
Oh, no.
Oh.
No, that's another story. But so I was like looking at how to play Cypress Point and like how to
get on Pine Valley.
Literally. Yeah. so I went with the public route.
Oh, I should have clarified that.
No. I like this better. So you're going down Long Island, the best golf in the world.
That's what I've never been out there. I want to go so bad.
It's the best. Every course there is so sick on the water. Like you have Maidstone, Shinnecock. I'm sure these are on your list.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, all right, rip your list.
Okay, so first round Shinnecock, then National Golf Links of America.
Played there.
Okay,
Awesome.
then Winged Foot.
Never played Winged Foot.
And then rounding out with Sleepy Hollow. I want to play Sleepy Hollow so bad.
Dude, that's sick. Yeah.
My dad.
All those courses are 10 out of 10.
I know. And impossible to get on, probably.
Yeah, I don't know where they
Except
are.
for Bethpage.
Those are they on Long Island, those courses? I don't think.
So
either way.
Winged Foot's in Mamaroneck. See, I don't know. This is your side of the country.
Yeah, I mean,
Southampton.
Dude, if you're doing all these,
Southampton.
Yeah, Southampton. So here's what you do: you start up with Northampton, you play Friars Head, then you play Maidstone, then you just go down that island.
What about Fisher Island? Is that cool?
If you like the best golf course.
Oh, I was like Fisher. I'm like, I don't like that one.
To get to Fisher's Island, it's just this random island. You got to take a ferry there. You land, they give you a lobster roll, and they say had the best time of your life.
Dude, I had a killer lobster roll. Have you ever been to Schooners on Love Street?
Dude, I see that place all the time.
I had
a good lobster roll.
I had a lobster BLT.
Oh my!
On a brioche bun, it was so good.
It's like my favorite food, man.
Lobster?
Yeah, let's get one after this.
I don't know if they still. It was a special. It's like, oh, keep it on the menu. Have you been on any good golf trips? Like actual ones, not like competitive golf trips?
No.
Really?
My dad's not a big golfer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know, I went. You know Connor Byrne.
Yeah,
one of our friends from high school. I visited
an Irishman.
Yeah, a little fellow Irishman. I visited him in Ireland, and we played a bunch of good courses. Don't ask me for the name of them because it was like 6-7 years ago. But I've been to Pinehurst. I played a couple courses there, but my dad's
not in competition though.
No. Yeah. My dad's not a big golfer, and like I just never had the money just to be like, all right, I'm just gonna take a plane and play 4 or 5 courses.
Yeah. Also, you need like a group of guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now that we're older, I'd love to get out there and rip some golf. You know what else I was looking at? Montana. That had that hilly, mountainy lake.
You were saying that you said something about moving. Where did you say you wanted to move to?
I'm not moving to Montana.
I thought you said Montana or something like that.
Ever
seen that TikTok? How far would you go for the girl of your dream? I'm going. What about Montana? Yeah. Have you seen that? Oh hell no.
My girlfriend's brother played Yellowstone. Yeah, Yellowstone something in Montana. One of the nicest courses there. It just looked unbelievable.
Really?
I had to get out there.
I know. I actually did it like a month ago. I played in like 31 states.
Really?
But I have not played like if you were to. I've hit Oregon, Cali, like that where Vegas is, all those Texas, but that middle of the country, like west of Wisconsin and east of Oregon, haven't touched it. Yeah, haven't touched it. Don't want to.
Why would you ever go there?
Yeah, it's like where you go? I'm going to North Dakota.
You know what else is good? Our team played. This is another one of what I was thinking about when you texted me going to Nashville. There's some good golf courses down there.
But I've heard that there was a TikTok posted of like it was like POV. You live in Nashville and you like to golf, and there's like 15 carts waiting to tee off one. Like there's not enough golf courses out there. That's like the same for Chicago.
They don't have the beach. That's all they have.
Yeah, golf and
because I was trying to think of if you're making a trip out of it, like you need after golf. What are you doing? So
drinking
at Nashville, which would be
sick. Yeah, Nashville is sweet. I've been like 3 times. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But me and my dad, after my graduation, we were gonna do a golf trip to Cali and play like Pebble, Spyglass, and then I ended up getting invited into what was it called? It was a 2-man event at Sand Valley. You heard of Sand
Oh,
Valley?
yeah.
So Sand Valley is made by the same people who made Bandon and Cabot Cliffs. And my dad wants to hit all those, like, Cabot Citrus is another one that they just made. So he wants to hit all of them. And so I got invited to play, and it took 2 years for us to get out there because COVID happened. But we went and played Black Wolf Run, and then we played Sand Valley and Mammoth Dunes, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
And my dad wants to do, because my brother plays, my brother-in-law plays, and he plays, and so he wants to do another golf trip eventually. And I so bad want to go to the Northeast, that New York area.
You can stay with me.
But
maybe not with your whole family, but if
Oh,
just
yeah.
you and me,
Yeah.
we can hit those.
but I'm like, he's like, I don't know who's going to get us on the courses. I'm like, me
Yeah,
neither.
I don't know.
That's why I need to get status, and I feel like
That would definitely help.
move the needle
That
a little
would
bit in my
definitely
favor.
help. I'm sure you could pay your way to play. There's all these courses, even Jupiter Hills, they do the unaccompanied guest. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, it's be $400 or $500 a person, but
Yeah, but
it's away.
for Timmy.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move into our next segment. My hot off the face, I've not ran it by you, and I feel like
This is how we like it. I want my genuine reaction.
Yeah. So
Hit me.
I don't think it's like too crazy, but my hot off the face is that kids should not get lessons until like maybe 7th, 8th grade. I
Wow.
don't think little kids should get lessons, and I'll tell you my reasons why. Number one, I did not get lessons until basically I got to high school.
But you're an athlete. Not
Yeah.
everyone's an athletic
But-
specimen like yourself.
Well,
who can just figure out how the club works.
Yeah, well, part of it was growing up, like, there'd be, like, me and, like, 6 other kids, and we would do, like, a game called Big Break, so we just make up, like, crazy games.
Yeah.
And I just remember how, but back then, I was, the workability I had with everything. Like, I could hit these massive hooks, and I was, like, not that good of a golfer, but I had a lot of control with everything. And I think it was because I never, ever, ever worked on my swing. We were just hitting like crazy shots and basically learned how to golf first. And then that's also where I think I got all my speed from, was we were just doing long drive contests all the time as little kids. And then once I got to like a more mature age, then I got golf lessons. So I already had the athletic ability. I already had the speed. And then I just crafted my swing. I feel like, especially little kids, they're in like 4th grade and they're getting lessons. I'm like, what? Like, why? Because one, they're not fun for kids. I don't think kids enjoy getting lessons. 2, in 2 months they're gonna have to get new clubs because they're growing.
Yeah.
And I think it just takes the athletic ability away from kids, and it makes it more of a job of like, well, you go with your dad and then you're working on your swing for an hour. It's like, let the kid go hit mega flops.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Because how hard do you think it's hard to build speed once you get older?
I
I just know
don't
that my
know
teammates could never increase their swing speed.
Yeah, I don't know how hard people train speed, and
Me neither. So
I think if you train it, it won't be that tough. Like if you're religious about hitting it 2-3 times a week, hitting the speed 6 and whatnot. But just back to the kids. There's 2 ways to think about it, right? One, like you said, it might be boring for them, and it might make it less fun.
Right.
But then there's the other side of it where they might ingrain some really bad habits that are harder to get rid of when they get older.
Yeah. Like I always rolled the club in really hard, and even at Bishopsgate, we couldn't get rid of it. Now it's gone. But I understand that.
Right, so like, let's say, so something I'm working on right now, this is on top of my head, is kind of how my hip pivots, and no one's ever told me how the hips are supposed to like move, and I kind of just figured it out. And I feel like if someone told me that when I was 7, I would be in a completely different like ball game.
Well,
so,
also,
like, I wish I could go back to my 7-year-old self and teach him how to play, as opposed to just having this random guy give me a lesson, because a lot of times people aren't even good at giving lessons. Like, you gotta see the right coach.
Yeah. That is a big... There's a girl who I grew up with that in high school got into golf, and she texted me one day about any good swing coaches, and I like send her a couple. I go, listen, just because you go to the guy one time does not mean you need to keep going back.
Yeah.
Like I've had so many swing coaches, and they're good swing coaches, but they just teach different things, and things don't work out. So don't just go see one guy and be like, this is my guy for life.
It's definitely test a couple out because you'll be surprised how different people teach, and you're never married to somebody. Feel free to break up with them. Like at the end of the day, you're probably spending $100 to $200 an hour. And you ever thought about that? $100 to $200 an hour. Break it down. They give you a 60-minute lesson. You're paying almost $2 a minute.
It's crazy how expensive lessons are.
You show up 5 minutes late, you just threw out $10-15.
Yeah, I mean, I know that guys who give golf lessons don't make the most money in the world, and I get that, like, their bread and butter is lessons, but like $200 for like a 90-minute session is, I'll go $1 a minute. I'd be like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
But I worked with Claude Harmon one time, and it was $700, and we didn't know that because we had like a prepaid plan with another swing coach, but they worked together. And I was like, where'd all my money go? And he's like, oh, you worked with Claude. I'm like, all he did was yell at me.
You didn't like it?
No, I hated it because we're hitting balls, and he's like, "So you play a cut?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Been here for 40 fucking minutes. You haven't hit one cut." I go, "Well, that's why I'm here because I'm not cutting the ball. If I was cutting the ball, I wouldn't be here." And
there you go, Claude.
And like literally, like I would have paid $30 for the advice, which I know he is a good coach.
What did he end up telling you?
I think we just changed my shoulder line.
Are you kidding me?
I was so mad. I called my dad. I'm never going back to Claude.
Yeah. Back to my original thought with the kids. I personally think it's important to get your fundamentals checked: grip, posture, alignment. Do whatever you want with your swing until you get to a certain age.
Yeah.
And play other sports. That's one of my regrets. I kind of specialized in golf 7th grade. I think if I stuck with other sports, be more athletic, my hand-eye would be better, and I would be a better golfer.
Yeah, I do think that being an athlete is the new, like, mold of golfers.
Yeah.
Moving forward. Like, I mean, half my teammates played hockey. They're all Canadians, but there's so many hockey players. There's so many baseball players.
Yeah.
Like
college coaches love athletes.
Yeah, my coach, we would play soccer, and there was one day where we're like finishing up and we're playing soccer in the bubble, and I'm like in the corner. He's like, Blaze, and he like chips one up to me, and I like out of the air kicked one. He runs over me. He's like, there we go. That's an athlete right there. I was like, thanks, coach. He loved it. Yeah, but it is a big advantage. I think
it's a huge advantage, not only body wise. Your hand-eye is gonna be better, like I said, and you're gonna know your body better and how to hit a golf ball better, but you're in the fire, just competing. You know what it's like to compete.
Yeah.
And coaches love that.
Yeah. Also, like, if you just golf, like, like when I think about, like, when I grew up playing basketball, like, you said, like, having that fire and all, like, I feel like it's really hard to build that sense of competition. I'm trying to think how to word this.
You got to take your time, brother.
Gosh. But, like, in golf, you lose so much, and there's not much reward, where in basketball you have, like...
Yeah.
You have your team where you can, like, build that camaraderie and all that fun stuff of sports, but you also, like, learn that, like, the grittiness of, like, hustling and pushing through, where golf's, like, you're just hitting balls, you go shoot whatever. Oh, I came in 10th. Okay. And you go home.
You only have a tournament... unless you're grinding at most once every week and a half.
Yeah.
At most people twice a month maybe.
Yeah.
So you're not often in that fire.
Where basketball, you play, like if you play travel basketball, you play 2 games a day, 3 games a day.
Like,
on weekends. Yeah.
Like you get to a point where like the pressure of performing doesn't even affect you, and it just becomes your performance.
Right.
You can carry that into golf.
Right. All right. So, this is what it is. When I have a kid, I'm just like, get their grip right. Don't let them baseball grip it. Just get the grip right. Get everything. And I'm like, just go rip golf balls and learn how to play golf.
Yeah.
Don't, like, I just hate when I'm like, I see, there's a guy at PJ National, and his son is probably 13. And
is he up his ass?
I mean, cussing his kid out. And I'm like, your kid is going to quit golf.
We talked about the heart of dads.
I
mean, it's either going to make you a diamond or you're going to, like, hate golf. Either way, you're probably going to hate golf, but it might make you a really good player.
Yeah. But, yeah, we talked about, like, how our parents are different in that aspect. But don't cuss your kids out. Oh, my. And I wanted to say something, and then he came up, he's like, how long you been playing? I'm like, I don't know, 13 years. And my dad did not yell at me like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, let's talk about putters. Damn, we're only at 30 minutes. I feel like a lot of people get hung up, which I have been there, hung up on like the Scotty Cameron. Oh, I got my Scotty, whatever. But with putters, as long as you know like your arc, you know what I'm saying? Any putter could work. Like, just because you buy a $400 putter does not mean you're going to make $400 more worth of putts.
Yeah, 100%. Irons too, right? It's just a block of metal at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have your thin irons and your fat irons for people who aren't as consistent. But in the end of the day, it is and isn't about the looks. They're all going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can have a set of top flights. Like, you just saw, like, Wesley Bryan. He's sponsored by Tacoma, up and coming brand.
I've never heard of them until
dude, they're up and coming brand that they're direct to consumer, so that means that they don't need to sell to PJ Superstore and then PJ Superstore sells to you. They sell direct to consumer.
Sponsor us.
Yeah, and they actually reached out.
What?
Yeah. We don't. I mean, I don't know, dude.
Maybe.
I felt like it could be a bad look for us.
Free irons? I don't know.
Free irons, but I don't know. The thing that sketched me out was when I looked on their website, they had no pictures of the top line of the irons.
Oh, so yeah, that top line is...
That's the most important thing for me. But anyway, like I was saying, same thing with the putters. There's two options, right? You have your straight back, straight through putters, which are the face balance ones. So if you balance them on your hand, they're going to
point to a putter.
Yeah, they're going to point to the sky, whereas... The arc ones, which are more the blades, so the style putter that Tiger uses, if you balance them on your hand, the toe is going to point more towards the ground.
Then you have the heel.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a bunch of variations in between that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, it's just a block of metal. And
yeah. like whether it's a power built putter or a Bettinardi.
Right.
The club's moving that far.
Right.
At, I don't know, 2 miles an hour. I don't know how fast a putter moves. But yeah, knowing that what type of putter you are. And putting it, like, finding that putter, if it works, it works. Like, I have manipulated, well, Jordan Spieth did the same thing. Purposely hit one putter bad so he could get the 009. I've done that before.
Dude, isn't that...
It actually worked.
Just switching putters, just getting a different feel helps a lot.
Oh yeah,
and then you switch back and you're like,
yeah. But going in right when I graduated college, I was using what putter was I using? Oh, I was using a Spider, and I putted really well with the Spider. And then I was doing videos for Flint Junior Golf, their TikTok page, and I thought it would look better if I was doing a putter video. And I thought it looked better if I used a Scotty. So I used my Scotty. I'm like filming this video. I'm like, dude, I'm rolling this thing. And so I put the Scotty in, and the first tournament I used in was the Michigan Am. And I was literally draining putts from everywhere. And I'm like, and I used to be the worst blade putter in the world. And just rolling putts in from everywhere. And used it for the rest of the summer, like putted really well. Moved down here, used it for a little bit, and I just not one day, but slowly got worse and worse at putting. And I was practicing like literally an hour at least a day on putting, going over everything, and my putting just got worse and worse and worse. And then I played a little tournament at Palm Beach Par 3. I missed like 4 greens and shot like 1 over. And I was putting terribly.
Yeah.
And I've never done this. I literally drove right to PJ Superstore, grabbed the pink putter, and I've never done it, but I putt great with it now.
Oh, you still have that one?
Yeah, I still have it.
That's funny.
Which I think it's like my most consistent putter I've ever had. So this is the right move.
Yeah, something we'll get into the video that we're filming today is how we practice. I don't know if practicing for... I'm starting to realize this as I get older. I used to be putting for 3 hours a day, and then I'd hit balls for 2 hours a day and do all that. I believe now it's better to do a couple of drills and then leave it as that. I don't know how much better you're getting from, or the difference from 30 minutes to an hour to as 30 minutes to like 4 hours. Like how much better, how much more are you improving?
Right.
It's nice.
I feel like you can only get so good at that little time.
And you might be wasting your time.
Yeah.
Like hitting the same putts over and over again. Something that I learned in the academy that was interesting is the best way to learn is to test yourself, right?
Yeah.
So do your drills, and then go put it to the test. Like go play and try to shoot a number, or go constantly switch it up. Do some games, like go play 18 holes putting and see how low you can shoot.
Yeah,
I think
or
that's
play
the
for
best way to
100
practice.
yards and in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I noticed like I used to putt a lot with which I still do to check my alignment, but I put alignment sticks down on the putting green because sometimes the putter head moves out right, and I would sit there for like 45 minutes hitting the same like 10-footer over and over, and then I realized like I would relied so much on that alignment stick, and then once the alignment stick was gone, I'm like, I can't even tell like where I'm aiming, and so like basically what I do now is I do gate drills for like, depending on how, if I'm rolling it through the gate every single time, I'll do it for 10 minutes. I'll go until I feel like I've adjusted, I'm hitting it well, and then I go into basically just putting a line down on the ball and just hitting end over end putts, because in my mind, if I hit the end over end putt, I'm putting good.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like,
it then just becomes a green reading thing.
Yeah, and I remember like, especially in like high school, grinding, like putting tees all around the cup at like 5 feet and like banging them in, which it does help, but I think that's a really just big mental thing.
Yeah,
like
working on pressure, like you have to get this amount in a row. I used to do the same thing. I try to get 100 4-footers in a row, right? Just on a mirror, same putt, straight putt, bang 100 of them in. How effective is that? I don't know. I think it's better to do 20 putts, and now just to get your stroke down, like you said, like I think a lot of the guys on tour, they have their couple of drills that they do, and then they test it.
Yeah.
But now I'm focusing a lot more on speed, so I'll get my short stroke or my long stroke down on the mirror, and then it's all speed work. Yeah,
I feel like my technique really goes once I get to like 25, 30 feet out.
Yeah,
which it's like, that's why I put that line down, and I'm like, just hit end over end putts, and you're at least, that's 99% of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then the speed. Well, speed's not 1%. Speed's a big thing. Yeah. But I used to be so in my head in high school of having the right pace, where I'd like be reading like a 8-foot putt that maybe broke like a cup and a half, and I'm like, well, if I baby it, it's gonna break 2 cups. If I jam it, and then I'm like, oh my, it's so hard to get the speed and the line right. And then now I'm like, well, what am I thinking? Like, just hit the putt.
Yeah.
Like, I put too much emphasis on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get in my head
just
sometimes.
Just pick your line and stick with it.
Yeah, roll the putt.
Just roll that thing in.
Especially if you're not shooting under 90, just go putt. I don't know how many times when I play with my buddies, which they are so much better now. I talk about my buddies a lot. They're my only reference to.
Shout out, boys.
Yeah.
The commies. The common man. The common man.
It'll be like a 18-foot putt, and they hit the putt 30 feet. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, and they're like, oh, too much on that. I'm like, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know how, as an athlete, which all my buddies are, you hit something so much further past. And work on your speed. If you're a bad golfer, just work on your speed and maybe like 7 feet and in.
Yep, exactly.
Like,
I love that.
I think you could shave.
People only make. Sorry to cut you off. People only make 50% on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
8-footers. Pros only make 50% of their putts.
Yeah.
So, do you think you're getting much done practicing those 10-footers, even though they're only a 20% chance you're going to make them? 10% chance?
Yeah.
No, bang in those 4-footers and then work on your lag putting. Try to not 3-putt.
Yeah, 3-putting or 4-putting. I mean,
happens.
They'll have.
If you don't get those gimmies.
Yeah, don't do gimmies. I mean, within like a grip maybe, but yeah, if you're playing 18 holes, and I honestly think they 3-putt maybe 7 times. I'm like, that should be maybe 2 times.
Yeah.
So you're shaving 5 strokes.
That's the easiest way.
The easiest way to drop your handicap. They don't listen to me. They don't practice. Okay. Golf news. Oh my gosh, we have to do the swing videos. They're on my phone. So we'll have to pause that and send them in
Okay.
later.
Yeah.
All right. In the world of golf news, Charlie Woods, we all know him, did his U.S. Open qualifying yesterday. Didn't go that great. It's okay. Shot 81 at the Legacy Golf and Tennis Club in Port St. Lucie. What are our thoughts?
I don't know anything about that course.
Me neither.
When I was 15,
I don't think he advanced.
I was shooting anywhere from 80, high 80s to low 70s. So, and I think he's in the same boat.
Yeah,
I think it's fine. I don't think.
Was he a sophomore or a freshman?
15. What is that? I think that's almost sophomore. I think he's finishing up his freshman year.
Okay.
Like, dude, he has so much time. He's growing a lot. I did expect him to be a bit better, given his dad's the greatest golfer in the world, and he has access to all the.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he shot 67 at Mission Inn.
Did he?
You know that course, yeah, in a qualifier.
Yeah.
So he's got the game.
That's sick. I don't know if I ever shot in the 60s when I was 15.
Well, no, the first time my sophomore year. No, going into my sophomore year is the first time I shot. My lowest round ever in competitive golf was a 75. And I go to AJGA at Fox Hills. And I shoot 72 my first round, which is my lowest round. Then I shoot 67 the next day. Then I shoot 68 the next day.
Damn.
And I called my dad. So my mom kept texting my dad. She's like, Birdie. And then he just stopped looking at it. He goes, she obviously doesn't know what she's talking about. And then my mom just texted my dad. She goes, Blaze wants to call you. He's like, what'd you shoot? I was like, 67. I was like crying. He's like, you gotta be kidding me. And then, so I never shoot under par, never shot even par. And then I go 9 under. I don't know what happened to me that day. And I go in a playoff with Norman Young, who is on the PGA Tour, All-American from Oregon. Like a phenomenal golfer. And we're playing a par 5. Oh, this is like, I'll never forget this. Par 5 water all up the right. And then it kind of dog legs up by the green, and your approach shot is over the green, or over the water to the green. I hit my drive. I had a big Bertha with a what's that shaft that's orange and has the lines at the
Tour AD.
Yeah, that driver. I had a nice little push down the right side of the fairway. He pulls one way left in the rough, and I had 212 to the green. He probably had 230. It's a front pin over a bunker, and there's like 30 people up on the green. And he hits this. I'm like, oh, he's laying up. And then he did not lay up. I see it like land right by the pin, but I can't see the bottom of the cup because of the bunker. And literally people are like clapping and high-fiving each other. I'm like, all right, like, you want to see a shot? And I chunk it so bad in the water. And so I'm like, I started crying, and I'm like walking up.
Perfect.
I'm like 100 yards from the green, and the rules official like, you gotta go re-hit it. I'm like, no, like, let me go see, because you have to. We have to count a score. So I'm like, so I go back. I hit it to like 8 feet. He's literally that far for eagle.
Yeah.
Tap in, and I'm like crying so much. I was like, that sucks. I lipped out high side on 18 to win, and I made par, which is a good par considering I hit in the water. And he stuffs it to an inch, basically, from 230.
Shout out Norman.
Yeah, and he, like, shakes my hand. He's like, at least you get the head cover. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, you shot low round. So I got the Scotty Cameron head cover, and I was just bawling. But, yeah.
Back to Charlie, though. That's a great story.
Do that, Charlie.
I don't know, like what we were talking about earlier, if his dad's hard on him or if he's soft on him.
Probably soft, considering Tiger's dad's history on it.
Yeah.
I think Tiger just wants his kids to be, like, happy.
Yeah, 1,000%.
It seems like they got a good relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
Charlie, come on the pod.
For
Let's
sure.
talk about it.
I think I'm not worried. I think he can easily go pro, right? Like, I've seen a lot of guys shoot 80s when they're in high school and then just slowly get better and better
Max
and better.
Homa shot a 78 in a minor league event.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happens. I mean,
That's
guys on
after
PGA Tour
college.
shooting
Yeah.
the 80s. It happens.
1,000%. And he's 15. He has all these expectations on him. He probably feels like the world is watching him,
Well,
which we are.
literally, if you look up golf news, the first 20 things are about Charlie Woods. I'm like,
Yeah.
leave the kid alone.
I couldn't imagine playing with that much pressure as a
So
15-year-old.
annoying. Yeah.
But I think it's going to end up making him a better player. It's going to make or break him. 1,000%.
Oh, for sure. Well, he also probably feels like he has to golf, which I think he does love golf, and he's a good golfer. He's a respectable golfer.
Yeah.
He's going to go to Stanford, where his dad went. But people just leave him alone. Let him play.
I think his dad's definitely doing a good job of telling him that because his dad's in the public eye more than anyone.
Yeah.
So his dad definitely has tips from the tour on how to not care what the media says.
Imagine being 15 and there's 40 articles about you that you have to go play qualifier, and then
suck.
and then they I get nervous, not really anymore, but like when I was in high school and my buddies be like, they check it, I'm like, I just shot 79. I don't want anyone knowing that. 10,000 people know he shot 81, which is not a bad score. Shot 9 over. I guarantee he beat not a lot of people, but he beat some people.
I just know at that age you care way more what people think about you.
Sure.
Like now, if I shot 95, I don't care. I don't care what anyone thinks. But if
I'll fake an injury.
If I was 15 and I shot 95, I would just think the world thinks I'm the biggest loser ever. But Charlie, if you're listening, I really hope you don't care what anyone says. Just keep on grinding. You're gonna get better. And hopefully, I'd love to see you on the PGA Tour. Man.
I have one thing we have to talk about. Finish your thing. Sorry.
That's it.
We have to talk about Nelly Korda and Scotty.
Yeah, they're disgusting.
They're
Dude, they're
9
too
wins,
good.
and I cannot believe. Well, Nelly's gone 5 in a row. So is Scotty, I guess. But has she played back to back every single one?
I don't know. It's unbelievable.
5 for 5 is crazy, and then 4 for 5 with a second.
What's the
place.
record on the PGA Tour?
7 by or no, it's 11 by Sam Snead, which I don't think counts.
In a row?
But that was during the war. No one played golf. Tiger had 7 in a row. I think that is the true benchmark. But he also went 5, 6, and 7.
And the one he lost, he probably won 5 more again after that.
I literally think he went win, second, and then 5 in a row.
Yeah.
And then he did the 7. But so what one did Scotty come in second in?
I know what you're talking about, but yeah, he's just in such a good groove right now. He's an unbelievable ball striker, and he putts well, he wins.
Also, he won the Players and the Masters in that stretch.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then Nelly, I just don't I feel like for Nelly, how far does she hit it? I feel like
I'd assume she probably carries it 260 and then rolls out to 280-ish. Is that too much?
No, I would say that's about right. It's just I feel like half the competition on the LPGA can't even keep up with her, even if they play their best, with how far she hits it. When I was at Eastern, I don't know anything about women's golf, but we were caddying for did I talk about this already? When I caddied we were caddying for the girls team when they were prepping for a tournament, and I was caddying for one of the girls. I'm not saying anything bad about girls. This is a different game, but we were 123 out, and I was like, "Oh, well, what do you want? Pitch and wedge?" She's like, "Oh, no, 8-iron." I'm like, "What are you talking about, 8-iron from 123?" I cannot. It blew my mind how.
I remember growing up, and at one point, my distances were the exact same as the LPGA Tour. I remember hitting 8-iron 120.
I remember the day I hit an 8-iron 150.
Really?
Yeah, but
it is what it is.
I know. It just blows my mind. That's what I'm saying. Nelly, if she hits it, let's see.
How far you're just comparing this girl to Nelly.
Yeah, well.
I mean, obviously girls aren't going to hit it as far, but.
If Nelly's hitting it okay, let's see. She drives it, 250. Okay, maybe that wasn't good. 8-iron 144.
Yeah.
Come on, Nelly.
Is she a power player? Is that what she's known for?
Let's see.
Or is she, what does she do really well?
I think everything.
I think she just does everything great, and so does Scotty.
Yeah. I'm trying to see. How many putts do you think she has?
At the end of the day, the people who are
winning. She puts
winning,
well.
Yeah, she has to. The people who are winning PGA Tour events are hitting it hitting the most greens and making the most putts. Like, dumb it down. So that means they're the best ball strikers and they're the best putters.
Okay, what do you think the LPGA Tour averages carry for driver?
Well, now that we know Nelly is carrying at 250, I'd say 240.
218.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So
nuts.
that girl is basically
So she's
8-iron average is 130.
Yeah, so Nelly's a bomber,
Yeah.
I guess.
I think part of it, I'm not trying to be racist, most of them are Asians, and Asians are typically smaller. I think that has something to do with it.
Could.
Like, if you got a couple softball players out there, it might be a different sport. I wonder how much their game has changed compared to ours with distance and how it's played.
Yeah. Well, I know Lexio's like almost hitting 300-yard drives.
Yeah.
I mean, some girls are just gonna smoke it.
But they remember Anna Paula and Kim?
Yeah.
Best ball strikers in the world.
Yeah, but
Unbelievable. I can never strike it like that. These two girls we went to our academy with, Anna Paula went to Clemson, Kim, right? It's Kim. They went to Washington. Miyamoto.
Oh, right.
That was her name, right?
Yeah.
They are incredible golfers, and like literally they have like a dime-sized wear mark on every single club.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah. It's impressive stuff.
It is impressive. But also, I feel like if one girl just goes out there, like the modern day, or the women's version of a Bryson, to get one girl out there that can hit like 285, I want to see what would happen.
There are long drivers, though, who...
Yeah, well, there is that one.
I know Lexi Thompson used to bomb it.
And Michelle Wee.
Yes. So...
I can't believe she's already retired. She's like, not our age, but...
Yeah.
Spent half her life on the LPGA Tour. She's like 20...
Yeah.
She's like 32
she's
years
done.
old. Yeah. Girls golf is, I think, just almost basically a different sport. With how young they get out on tour and how they play.
They like peak at 18.
They get on tour at 15.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
And then they're like they retire like 24.
Yeah.
And then they don't really peak.
32 is the average
Is that?
time a PGA Tour player gets their card.
Yeah, so that's their peak, which is nuts. So that's the hard part about trying to go pro is the average guy's getting at 32. It's hard to just, put all your marbles in that basket. I'm sure you've thought of this before, but like, what happens if you don't make it? Now you're 32 and you don't have a job.
Yeah.
That's just the harsh reality of it.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I mean,
the winners take that risk.
Yeah.
You got to take that risk if you want to see it through.
My swing coach Jeff, we were talking about it, kind of like expectations and all the pressure and everything. And he's like, you do realize, like, it did make me feel better. He goes, in order to be in the PGA Tour, you have to be a top 125 in the world. He goes, you're trying to be the top 100 best players in the world. Not everyone can do it. And I'm like, it does make me feel a little bit better.
Yeah. I mean, isn't it crazy how you shoot a 75 and you feel almost embarrassed, but 0.01% of the world can't do that.
Yeah. That's like when we were saying to you, the level you hold, or what?
Yeah,
expectations, yeah.
Golf is all about, even happiness in general, I found, is just kind of beating expectations.
Yeah. I think for me, it's like basically if I shoot under par, I'm always like happy.
Oh my
it's
God,
respectable. The average age on the LPGA is 25. The average age on men's is 32.
Yeah.
Also, people also asked, can I become a pro golfer at 37? No.
Probably not.
No.
I mean, if you're not good enough by 37.
This says mental and physical skills begin to decrease as humans get into their late 30s. So anyone planning to become a professional golfer better have received their tour card by then.
Yeah. Right. And anyway, going back to Nelly and Scotty, I think it's really good for the game. I think it's good for the PGA Tour. You want a really dominating figure because, like, I feel like Caitlin Clark, like, it's just must-watch TV. I love watching greatness play, but I wish Scotty was a little less boring, threw a little more fist pumps. It's not like Tiger, who is the coolest guy ever.
Yeah.
I wish they'd show more women's golf, or I don't even watch golf in general.
Same.
But I don't know what what Nellie's attitude is like out there. I remember she was like really shy to take a picture with Tiger.
Yeah,
so
she seems like a sweetheart.
yeah, I feel like she might be more shy and quiet and like kind of keeps to herself on the course. Like I've never seen any clips of her just like ripping massive fist bumps and whatnot. But
I think
maybe that's what it takes. Like maybe like I was saying with Joaquin, if you were here from the beginning, it almost looks like they don't care. And it might be on the outside.
Yeah, on the
they might just
outside.
have to tell themselves, I don't care, and just like kind of like keep that low energy to play their best.
Yeah. All right. I think we're going to go into swing videos. So for our listeners on Spotify, thank you for tuning in. Any closing statements? We're getting bombarded.
That's it. Watch our YouTube video.
Happy Tuesday Golf. And we got some exciting things in the future coming
For
up.
sure.
Stay tuned. And subscribe, please.